All right. Good afternoon. This is Loreena Hegenbart, and I am the parent mentor for the Center for Exceptional Families. We are a parent training and information center for the entire state of Arkansas. And currently, I cover North Central Arkansas, and I am attached to Northwest and the River Valley until they have someone to cover that area. I have been with the Center for Exceptional Families for 7 years since its inception, and I was recently appointed to the Arkansas Council for Military Child. And my late husband was in the Army for 23 years. So we fully understand the change of duty station, the children arriving at school in the middle of school starting and having to make new friends and new floor plans. And sometimes they had to share a room until we could get housing. So there was a lot of challenges we have. And so today I've invited Colonel John Kaminar. He's a retired military officer, and he currently serves as the Military and Veterans Liaison Officer for the Department of Education, the Division of Secondary and Elementary Ed. I've got those turned around, but that's all right. He's also the chair of the Arkansas Council for Military Child. And so why this purpose for this is to set off the month of April as the month of the military child. So without further ado, I'd like for John to introduce what he does and our purpose for celebrating the month of the military child.
Well, thank you, Ms. Hegenbart, and thank you for allowing me to join you today. There are a couple of things that I really love talking about. One of them is Month of the Military Child, and the other one is the Arkansas Council for Military Children, like you keep talking about. Let's talk first a little bit about the Month of the Military Child. Now, I'm not making this up. This is a thing here. Month of the Military Child was created by the U.S. Department of Defense in 1986. So it's been around for a while. It is observed nationwide every April. The entire month of April is used to honor the service of the parents of military-connected children, but also to recognize the sacrifices those children make themselves. Because even though it may be the parents that are, making the PCS moves, the permanent change of station moves from, say, Arkansas to Texas to Colorado to Germany to Korea and back again, the kids go along with them. And even though it may be one of the parents who is mobilized and sent to some trouble spot around the world, the children pay a price for that too, in terms of the worry about the absent parent, readjusting family roles when mom or dad puts the uniform on and heads off to the Horn of Africa, or fairly recently to Iraq or Afghanistan, and then readjusting all those family roles once again when mom or dad comes back home. So there are good reasons to have a month set aside to recognize what military connected students go through. So April is it.
Well, that's really remarkable. I mean, I can, as a military spouse, former military spouse, I can understand what you're discussing. And I didn't realize that it's been in the works for that length of time, because Pat retired in 1996. And I don't recall them talking about that when we were transitioning, or when, of course, we spent most of our time overseas. So I know for our children, it was at times they had a tough transition, understanding dad was gone for a while, and I had to be dad and mom. And sometimes I wasn't good at either, because I was just as frustrated because things would come due, things would break. I mean, there was, those kind of things that would happen. So can you speak a little bit about the Arkansas Council? What's that all about? And I think that's it.
Absolutely, happy to.
Okay.
The Arkansas Council for Military Children also has been around for a little while, though not as long as Month of the Military Child. The council came into being in 2013. And what happened in that year was that Arkansas joined the Military Interstate Children's Compact. Now, an interstate compact, first of all, is simply a contractual agreement among 2 or more states. There are a number of them in existence, something like 200 of them altogether. This particular compact is one of the few that involves all 50 states and the District of Columbia. So this one truly is nationwide. But the purpose of any interstate compact is to provide a legal framework for states to resolve issues that they have reason to expect are going to come up time and again. You don't have to have officials from the member states going back to reinvent the wheel every time it comes up. They already have a framework of laws and procedures in place that can give them some guidance on how to resolve these issues. Now, this particular compact, the Military Interstate Children's Compact, exists for the purpose of resolving issues that come up in education for the child of a military family. I mentioned all those moves earlier that a military family might make, from state A to state B to state C to an overseas country and then back to the United States. All of that adds up to some significant academic, social, and emotional challenges for the kids. And when you think, for example, in terms of a child who wants to play on a sports team and was really, really good at it at his old school in Colorado, and then they're transferred to a school here in Arkansas, and it happens to be the middle of the season for whatever sport the child plays. Back in the day, the child really didn't have any sort of recourse to get on the team. He or she would just sort of have to sit that season out. But this interstate compact has among its provisions that as long as the child is otherwise qualified for the team, in terms of grades, discipline, attendance, and so forth, the child at least has to be given an opportunity to try out, even if it is the middle of the season when the child shows up. Similarly, for the start age for kindergarten or for first grade, those are the 2 grades where this applies. Let's say a child had entered kindergarten a year earlier in California than we would normally allow a child to start here in Arkansas. As long as the child was enrolled and had attended in the sending state, then the receiving state must honor that enrollment date. We can't make a child go back and repeat kindergarten or first grade for the sole reason that the child is younger than his or her peers. There are provisions that cover enrollment in particular programs. We wouldn't require a school district or a state to create an academic program where one didn't exist before. But as long as the program is there or there is some alternative, then the law requires the school to allow the student initially to go ahead and enroll in those programs, whether it's AP, honors courses, let's say, for example, foreign language courses, because those tend to be very different from state to state. If a child moved to Arkansas who had, let's say, German at a school in Texas, and the school district that the child is attending here in Arkansas doesn't offer German, well, we're not going to require that school district to hire a German teacher, but we will require the school district to look for some alternatives for the student, even if that means allowing the student to enroll, for example, in Arkansas Virtual Academy to get those German courses. And then graduation. We don't want any child to be unable to graduate on time because he or she has lost graduation credits. So we have quite a bit of flexibility to work out graduation requirements so that those students can cross the stage on time with their peers, even if we have to reach back to the state that the student came from and obtain a diploma from the old school in that state for the student to graduate on time. Now, that was what got Arkansas started with this council, because one of the requirements to be a member of this particular interstate compact is that the state must create a council to help administer the compact within the borders of that state. Now, back when we first joined the compact here in Arkansas, it was simply known as the Arkansas MIC3 Council, MIC3 being the acronym for the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission. But over the years, Arkansas law has added some duties to what this council does. A couple of examples of that. For example, the Military Interstate Children's Compact only applies to the children of active duty service members. In Arkansas law, we extend those same protections to the children of National Guard and Reserve families. The Arkansas statutes also, for example, make a provision such that when a military family finds out that they are coming to Arkansas, as soon as they have received their PCS orders, their transfer orders, they can go ahead and contact the school district that they plan to attend here in Arkansas. And by law, the district here must go ahead and enroll the child for their classes. And if a virtual learning option is available, if the child wants to go ahead and start taking those classes online, then Arkansas law requires that to be done. So there are several provisions that Arkansas has enacted outside of the compact. We also empower our state council to develop recognition programs for individuals who have gone above and beyond the call of duty to serve military families. We have a network of military education coordinators in school districts with a lot of military connected students, and the council works with them to ensure that that those district military education coordinators have the knowledge that they need to serve in the role effectively. We administer a thing called the Purple Star School Program, which is a recognition program for schools and school districts that have gone the extra mile to create an environment that is supportive for military families. So with all of these additional duties that our state council has, a couple of years ago, a statute was enacted that actually changed the name of our council. We're no longer the Arkansas MIC3 Council because we do so much more beyond what the Interstate Compact requires. 2 years ago, we became known as the Arkansas Council for Military Children. And we have representatives on this council from all over the state, from school districts with a large number of military connected students, representatives from 6 military installations scattered across the state, some appointees by the governor, the president pro tem of the Senate, and the Speaker of the House. I think one of those, Ms. Hegenbart, is the seat on the council in which you serve.
Yes.
So we are well represented from across the state with stakeholders who have deep knowledge of the needs and challenges of military connected students. And we're very proud of what the council does.
Well, as a new member, I didn't know all of these things. So I really appreciate this information. Dealing with the Purple Star School, how does a school go about receiving that?
Well, it's really a pretty easy process. In fact, it's designed so that a school will not be unduly challenged as they set out to gain Purple Star school status. There are 6 requirements that a school has to meet. Now, 5 of those are required of all schools, and they are things such as they have to appoint someone in the school to serve as the point of contact for military families. They have to have their district school board pass a resolution supporting military connected students. They have to create a page on the school's webpage that lists resources for military families. They have to conduct some sort of professional development activity for the faculty in their school pertaining to the needs of military connected students. And they have to make sure that the faculty in their schools know who their military connected students are. Now, for the 6th requirement, there's a menu of 3 that they get to choose from, but an example of that would be holding some sort of special recognition activities to support military connected students. And so they could do an activity in conjunction with Month of the Military Child, and that would meet that requirement. So once they have completed all 6 requirements, they fill out an application online. The link for that is found on the Division of Elementary and Secondary Education website. They simply fill it out online, they hit send, and then the awards committee of the Arkansas Council for Military Children will vet the application and recommend approval or disapproval if all the requirements have not been met. But assuming that they have, then at the next bi-monthly council meeting, the council will vote to approve that school as a Purple Star school. And once that has happened, we congratulate them. We bring them a really beautiful banner to display on the campus. They can put on their webpage that they are a Purple Star school. We will add their names to the list of Purple Star schools that we keep on the Division of Elementary and Secondary Education website. And that is no small thing, because when military families move into Arkansas, they know to look for what schools are Purple Star schools. Because you see, this is not something that only Arkansas is doing. About half of the states in the United States have a Purple Star school program. Those programs have been recognized by the Department of Defense, They are actively fostered by the Military Child Education Coalition, who is a big advocate for these programs. And so military families, military families are savvy, they're smart, they're looking for the best that their children can get. And when they are moving into Arkansas, for example, they know to go to the Department of Education website, look for the list of Purple Star schools, and they can see whether the school or the district that they're going to be moving into has any Purple Star schools. And by the way, I mentioned district. Once every campus within a given school district has achieved Purple Star school status, we recognize them as a Purple Star school district. And we also list them on the webpage. We've got about a half a dozen Purple Star school districts statewide. Our goal is to turn them all purple. Someday we're going to get there. Right now, we are at about the 6% mark of schools in Arkansas have turned purple. But it's a fairly young program. It's been around for about 4 years, and we see more Purple Star schools being added every year. In fact, we have high hopes that during Month of the Military Child, we will have the privilege of recognizing all 27 campuses in the Fort Smith School District as Purple Star schools. That is the goal. Fort Smith is working on it hard. They joined some other excellent districts that are also turning purple. And we're excited to see this happening. More Purple Star schools every year, which means that Arkansas's commitment to military connected students is growing every year.
Wow, that is remarkable. I mean, I didn't realize there were 27 schools since I have Fort Smith now, so I don't know all of the schools, but that's a huge school district. And
it is indeed.
Very. Let's see. Oh, and so you, I know for the Center for Exceptional Families, we're going to make Mondays our Purple Mondays and or Purple Up Mondays. And so I'll be interviewing people every Monday that's connected or from another state to share some of the things that they're doing. Colonel Kaminar, I truly appreciate you taking your time to give me some information as well as all of us. I'm excited. And of course, for me, I'm so excited I can still stay connected. I miss the military. We're unique people and we're a large family. And it's so great to see civilian communities participating and embracing these kids because they really need to know that they're accepted. And so I'm just so grateful to be part of the Arkansas Council of Military Children and to be partner with you. So I want to appreciate you, John.